everyone, welcome back. For today's video, I thought it would be fun to share the rabbit hole that I've been finding myself going deeper and deeper. Now, that is Dr. Joe Dispenza's formula. I know, I'm really late to this game, but you know, better late than never, right? Now, in my previous video, how to use the law of attraction, I talk about how to use the law of attraction in the simplest way possible. And one of the things that I mention in that video is being in tune with your heart and your mind and using the emotions to feel what it is that you want in order to attract what you want. And that's exactly what Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about in his formula. But the only thing that I was missing was that I would go through a period of time of being able to attract what I want and then not being able to attract anything and almost taking like 5 steps back when I've taken 10 steps forward. So it became very frustrating. The video that really clicked for me is a video that I'm going to link down below, and he basically talks about how to use the formula and how to understand your subconscious. I think though, based on the comments that I've read, based on everything that I've heard from him, a lot of people do really want to know the formula and get started on how to create their outer reality. But I feel like he really makes a point of trying to make his audience understand the subconscious. Let's go ahead and get started. That was a very, very long intro. This video is going to be about understanding your subconscious and how to be conscious of the things that you are subconscious about, and how to use Dr. Joe Dispenza's formula to create your outer reality that you are looking for. So Dr. Joe Dispenza says that most of our thoughts and feelings are emotions that we feel from the past. So we almost release a chemical feeling within our body, whether we are aware of it or not, based solely on the emotions and thoughts of our past. So if you have a good thought that leads to a good feeling, then he calls that an attitude. And attitudes are a shortened state of being. So when you combine your attitudes, whether they're good or they're bad, over and over again, it becomes a form of belief. So a belief is a thought that you keep thinking over and over again. This belief then is a cycle of thinking and feeling, which over time creates a subconscious state of being. He explains also that the thoughts are the language of the brain and the feeling is the language of the body. So the second that you think this, you also feel this too. Whatever it is that you're feeling, you're hardwiring that in your brain so much to the point that you condition your body to become the subconscious mind. He goes on to explain that once the body becomes the mind, that's called a habit. He also explains we've conditioned our body to wake up in the morning, go brush our teeth, eat breakfast. That's a habit. Our body subconsciously knows to get up in the morning, to brush our teeth, to have breakfast, to get ready for work. So at this point, I've understood that our subconscious is the body. Our body is looking to feel a certain way, and in order to get that feeling, we have to create or generate a thought that leads to that feeling. So in order for us to change our beliefs or our habits, we really need to make a firm intention that is greater than our past experiences. The best way that I can describe it is when you've hit your rock bottom, you specifically, when you feel like you've hit your rock bottom, you internally make that commitment to yourself that you are better than this and that you are going to change. That intention alone is greater than your past experiences of what you've been experiencing. Once you believe that, once you make that big firm intention that is greater than your past experiences, and when you start to change your old self, your outer reality starts to mirror that as well. If you are trying to make the conscious choice to be different, if you're trying to make the conscious choice to be better, to be a better version of yourself, then you almost have to consciously change your choice of thoughts. This part is extremely difficult, he explains, because we feel so uncomfortable in the unknown. In the unknown, we're unable to predict what will happen, versus the known, we know what it's like, we know what it feels like, and we're able to predict it. So that's why a lot of people, they will make the change going forward to be different health-wise, or thinking differently, to feel differently, to attract what it is that they want for a short amount of time, but then it becomes so uncomfortable for them because you're still in the unknown of waiting or thinking that you are still unworthy. And so then it's just easier to take a step back to the known of what you are comfortable with. And I think this is exactly what I was struggling with. I would step into the unknown and I would be able to attract everything that I honestly wanted, and it was easy, it was fun. And then once I felt like I was there for too long, it became scary and it became uncomfortable, so much to the point where I would step back to the known, and it becomes a vicious cycle. For Dr. Joe Dispenza to explain this makes me more aware of when I'm stepping back into the known. When you step into the unknown, that's when we see greatness, that's when we see the magic, and that's when we are able to create the reality that we want, or even just attract what it is that we are looking and searching for. So now we're getting to the formula. Now the formula to create your reality or to attract what it is that you want is mental rehearsal. That's it. It's mental rehearsal. You want to take a couple minutes each day, whether it's at nighttime or in the morning, whatever feels most comfortable for you. You want to take a few minutes each day to feel the emotions of what it's like to be in your future self. So if you're trying to create an opportunity, for example, let's say a job, you want to take minutes out of each day to practice what it feels like to receive that job offer and be grateful within that moment. So the moment we start understanding our subconscious and making the choice to think differently and to feel differently, we also would need to apply his formula of mental rehearsal, of practicing those emotions, feeling your emotions for the future. So the body has no idea of the past or the future. So he really explains that if you take the time to really invoke those feelings of, if you're trying to attract love, you want to feel those feelings and you want to stay within that for a good amount of time every single day until your outer reality is mirrored. He also goes on to explain that this does not happen overnight. You do not jump from the old self to the new self from one day to the next. It takes time and it's a process. And the moment you start understanding that, and the moment you start moving forward and being aware of your subconscious and being aware of the emotions that you're invoking within yourself, you will slowly start to see your outer reality mirror exactly what you are wanting. So when you're doing this, when you're trying to attract, when you're trying to create a different reality for yourself, know that it is possible, but also know that it is a process and it takes time. And when you feel like you want to give up, always think about how your previous emotions, your past emotions, and your past thoughts have kept you anchored in the past and never allowed you to really move forward. And really ask yourself if those emotions and those thoughts really do belong in your future. All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I will see you in my next video. Bye.